back. Another day, another dollar.
Miss being so close to you.
I know. Just 1 week though, and we'll be back.
I know, insane.
Also, have you checked your mailbox today yet?
I have not. Did you send me a little package?
I invited you to my wedding.
Your wedding invite.
Did you send me a present?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you're feeling in a generous mood.
You're right. Well, I'm feeling in a generous mood. You have Miss Nicole Sievers and guest. That's very generous of me.
Well, we already know who my +1 is going to be.
We do.
So, anyway, I mean, you know I'll be there, even if I don't RSVP.
I know, but I need you to RSVP, so.
Just go in and do it for me. You already know.
Oh, Nicole. You make my life harder every time you can.
Listen, today I've been working on shower stuff for you, okay? I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to be a good maid of honor over here.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I'm trying. You know this is not really my forte in planning things, so I'm just trying to do my best.
You know what? That's all I can ask for.
Thank you.
That's all I can ask for.
Thank you. Well, I'm excited for your shower. It's going to be really cute. So we got your bachelorette next weekend, which I'm also very excited about.
That's going to be so freaking fun. I'm so excited.
Everyone's going to have a good time. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited to see everyone. So
I can't wait. I keep being like, oh my God, I see all of my favorite people in a week from now. This is crazy.
I can't believe it's already time is flying. I'm so scared.
Dude, tell me about it. I'm panicking straight up. Too much to do, too little time. I don't even have a wedding ring yet, so gotta get that.
Oh well. I mean, you can still get married without the wedding ring, right? Just get a Qualo. What are they called?
Kalo.
Slip a Kalo on there.
Yeah. No, they usually don't take that long. I feel like people usually get them just a couple months ahead of time, but Nick and I actually have to go do it. Yeah. But anyways, this is not a wedding podcast, is it? Sometimes it is.
It feels like. I mean, sometimes we do discuss the topics of weddings on this podcast, but we have for two girls who literally yesterday texted, "What the fuck are we going to talk about on this week's podcast?" We came up with a bussin' agenda.
We really did, and this always happens. Every time we don't think there's a lot to talk about, we surprise ourselves and talk about so many things.
I think it's mostly because it forces us to go and
actually
do research and find things to talk about other than just what we've happened to see.
Right.
And so this week we've got a lot of things going on that I'm really excited to talk about. I think we have some really fun, interesting, culturally relevant topics to talk about today.
We really do. It's going to be a good one. Just looking at this agenda, I'm like, damn, I'm excited to talk about it all. So without further ado, this is TG1F, an F1 podcast with Kate and Nicole. I am Kate.
I'm Nicole.
And we're your freaking hosts.
At what point maybe when we hit episode 100, do we stop introducing ourselves? Is this a thing that we have to do forever?
No, I don't know.
Just our intro? I don't know.
I think we have to keep doing it because what if people just start listening now and they don't know where they're at?
We'll put up a poll and people can vote if they think we should keep introducing ourselves or not.
I don't know. But then I'm like, okay, well, is it weird that we just randomly stop? And
I mean, we're on episode 87 right now. It's pretty crazy that every episode we're like, hey, I'm Kate, I'm Nicole, this is our show.
Yeah, but what if this was the first episode someone listened to and they need to know whose voice is whose?
That's true.
I think that it's just something that we have to do.
You're right. Well, we'll ask.
This is the cross we have to bear as podcast hosts in America.
So true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm never wrong.
Okay. Well, first things first, I want to talk about a little bit of the drama surrounding the cost cap.
Oh, we're just diving right into some heavy hitting topics.
We've got a lot of things. Cost cap. I know that there was rumors or news that came out earlier this week, at some point this week, that 3 teams so far have breached the cost cap
already.
budget already. Not even halfway through the full season yet. And we already have teams who said, fuck it, we ball.
Honestly, I'm
And
so shocked. The sanctions were so bad. Like, the consequences were so bad last year.
like, I remember when we were
In Austin?
in Austin in the paddock when like basically the hammer came down from the FIA on Red Bull for breaching the cost cap, and we were like, oh my god, it's gonna be such a huge deal. But
Well,
it was
also,
not.
behind the scenes story, guys. So we were in the media center, and everyone had been expecting the FIA to come out with like what the consequences for the budget cap were, to like confirm that Red Bull like did or did not breach. And all of a sudden everyone was like, oh my god, like Red Bull just called every single staff, personnel, team member to the motorhome. Like, something is going down, and we're all like, oh my god, it's like the cost cap. Like, it's really happened. And so like we're surrounded. It's, first of all, it's me and Nicole, and then actual like respected journalists in this room, like people that are just like actual journalists. And me and Nicole, like, let's do a fit check.
Are
Like,
you saying that we're not actual journalists, that the stuff we cover is not hard-hitting news?
I'm not saying it, but so we're sitting there, everyone's rushing, and me and Nicole are just like, holy shit, like, it's going down, like, let's get out there, we gotta be at the scene of the crime. Like, and then it, like, so everyone's like, people are like tweeting, being like, cost cap, like, FIA sanctions are here, like, we're all covering it, like, everyone's at Red Bull, they're all getting like media trained on what to say or what not to say and all this stuff. And then we get there, and like there's like all this commotion, and they're like, oh yeah, it's the founder of Red Bull died. And everyone was
It
like,
was crazy.
oh.
We're like, oh, all right, different
We're
story.
like, damn, that's sad. But then I think like a couple hours later is when it came, but it was like the boy that cried wolf, you know, and like no one was excited about it then.
Right.
We were excited about it 2 hours ago.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, Dominicali said recently that he thinks that people who cheat the cost cap should be given much harder sanctions than what they've received, right?
Yeah.
We know
Probably.
$7 million, and he said the decision to find $7 million and give a reduction of 10% wind tunnel testing caused some controversy, as some outfits felt it was not big enough punishment compared to the potential gains the team made.
I mean,
And
yeah.
as we've seen, how hard did it actually hit Red Bull?
Like, they're
Not
still
hard at
winning.
all.
Like, well, I mean, even last year, Toto was like, I will be breaking this. He was like, write that down. I'll be breaking I'm breaching the cost cap.
Right.
If this is all you're doing, write that down. I'm doing it.
Right.
Expect that from me. So
right. Like,
I mean, if Mercedes isn't one of the two teams, I'm shocked.
I mean, even like Zach was so upset. I'm sure
Yeah.
McLaren's breaching it though too, because I'm sure, like, here's the thing, and we've talked about this before. I don't know if we've talked about it on this podcast, but I brought this up to you recently when they put up that no parking sign at the beach. That if the punishment for breaking the law or a rule is just a fine, then it is only meant to impact poor people. It is only meant to put poor people at a disservice, whereas rich people can afford to pay that fine. Like, it's not a big deal. And this is exactly what it is for these big Formula One teams, where they're like $7 million. Okay, that's like 1 week of salary for us. Like, not a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And like, obviously Haas is not going to break the cost cap budget. Are they even going to reach the cost cap budget? I don't know, but it's like one of those things where it's so annoying that it's like,
is
yeah,
Haas even going to have as much money as they're allowed to use? Probably not.
So it's like, you know, Dominicali basically said, it's out of my control. He's the president of Formula One or whatever his job title is. And so he's like, its control is in the hands of the FIA, not me. Personally, what I have asked is to anticipate as soon as possible the publication of the investigations made by the staff of the FIA. But I say this only because in this way, it does not give rise to speculation and comments that are not good for anyone. So he's basically saying, I don't agree with it, and I think it should be harder, but it's obviously not in my control, and I'm not going to really speak on it until the findings come out because I don't want to make myself look bad or be a target. So I just was like, yeah, he's a lot of the times the homies hate the FIA, right? We always talk about this, like sometimes Dominicali's a fucking dick, and we're like, screw this guy. But he gets it this time around. I think punishment should be harder.
Mm-hmm.
They should
Capital
have to
punishment.
lose. They should have to lose the amount of money that they go over by for the next year.
Yeah, capital punishment, execution,
Trial by jury. They should do a duel, and it's fight to the death.
Jousting. Bring back jousting.
It's just Christian. It's Christian and Toto.
Jousting. At the Ren fair that we're making all the drivers go to.
So bad to see who gets the least corporal punishment from the FIA for breaching the cost cap.
It's just the Hunger Games. Everyone who breaches the cost cap goes into the Hunger Games. And the person that survives doesn't have to pay a fine. Because that's it. You won and you get to live.
That's it. Your punishment is you have to murder everyone.
I'd think twice about breaching the cost cap.
And the thing is like the teams have to get to vote. Everyone gets to vote on who they're submitting to the cost cap Hunger Games. So if you're a very unliked person, you better watch your back.
Watch your fucking back. Keep your friends closer, your enemies closer. That's all I'm saying. That's all I have to say about that.
We started off on a very dark page.
Let's talk about some good news, though.
This is one of the funniest things I saw happen this week was that obviously, welcome Danny to your first race week of 2023. But AlphaTauri put up a photo of him and they're like, welcome back, Danny Rick, looking good in the kit. And fans rightfully pointed out that was a Photoshop picture where they just put Danny's head on Nick's body. The disrespect.
It was
the disrespect, one, to do that to Nick, and two, to just be lazy enough to like not even make it a good Photoshop job. You could tell because his neck didn't really connect in the suit. Like it was weird. And three, the fact that they couldn't just get Danny to
wear a suit
and take a quick little photo of it.
Or use a different photo of Danny. Like he doesn't have to there's so many things you could have done instead of that. But also, rude to Danny because Nick is so much shorter than him.
I know.
That's like
they were just
someone
like,
being like, that's like someone being like, congratulations, Nicole, you are now like a member of the team and photoshopping your head onto my body.
No, that's probably true though, because it's probably the same height difference.
Like, so sad.
So, AlphaTauri, what are we doing, babes? They took
an L for the week. L for the week from AlphaTauri.
They promptly deleted it after everyone was like, "Hey,
just wondering,
right here," and they were like, "Oops, sorry, wrong, new phone, who dis?"
Our intern posted that. That was a draft.
It was good. It was some good stuff. Also good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So Seb's just been in the news being like good guy this week because he talked about the Danny Nick situation, and obviously he was like really excited for Danny. Like they're close, they used to be teammates, but he kind of expressed the same things that we did last week when we talked about this, about like feeling bad for Nick. Obviously, you and I have said last week and before, we always think rookies should get a full season to prove themselves and, get used to this new environment. But Seb agreed with that and basically said, I have to be honest, it's obviously a shame for Nick, the way it came to an end. I think he got a great chance. Maybe things didn't happen for him the way he expected or people expected, but it's also a bit harsh when it comes to a very sudden stop. And I think that is very fair and eloquently put in a way that we did not.
Yeah.
have the words to say in that eloquent of a way.
And Seb even went on to say, like, I like Danny. Like, we were teammates. Like, I'm a huge fan of Danny, and I'm really happy to see him back. But I don't necessarily like
The
think what they did.
circumstance.
The
Yeah.
circumstances were right,
Yeah.
and like again, it's hard. It is not a black and white situation, right? Like it's hard to be like on one
Mm-hmm.
side or the other, and I don't think
Yeah.
it's fair to anyone to be on one side or the other. I think what we can all agree on though is that Helmut Marko is the worst. Like that's the floor. Like
That
that's where
is
we're meeting.
so there's a Venn diagram in the circle is that Helmut Marko is the worst.
It's like Nick DeVries, Team Nick, Team Danny, and then the middle it's like everyone hates Helmut Marko. Like
Yeah.
that's where we're at. So the sooner that Helmut Marko hands over his crown to Sebastian Vettel, the better we're all going to be. The better
Truly.
Red Bull is going to be. The optics, the PR is going to be on the up and up. So looking forward to that day. Hopefully
Yes.
it's soon.
And also in the Seb Vettel's a great guy camp, Lewis quote recently that we put on our story today that said, Sebastian was one of those who supported me the most. He told me that in some teams they spoke racist things about me. He knelt down with me in 2020. I've yet to see a driver as brave as him. And like obviously this is like, yeah, Seb's such a great guy. Like so glad that Lewis had him and like that they're such great friends and that Seb's such a great guy. But I'm also like, the bar is so low.
The
Like
bar's
that should
so
be
low.
the norm. That should not be the exception. And also to
Right.
hear that there was like teams that were like saying racist things about Lewis, like gross, gross, gross,
Yeah.
gross, gross, gross. Like I hate it. I hate it here. And it's
I
just like
mean,
disappointing that like Seb being just like a decent human being and like being a good friend to Lewis is like the exception, and like Lewis being like he's so brave for that. Like is he, or is he just like
yeah.
a basic good person?
I'm like, that's a tough look, but it's just like so disappointing that we're still dealing with this in Formula One. Like,
I know.
not surprising, but definitely disappointing.
Agreed.
Sticking to the Danny topic,
Yeah.
Ted Kravitz recently said
Tell me what
on
Ted has to say right now. You know I care so much all about what Ted says.
he on the Sky Sports F1 podcast
Mhm.
basically was talking about how weird he thought it was that Danny was returning to Formula One. And he goes, it's all well and good to point to Danny's testing times in the Red Bull, which is the class car in the field. But the reality is that Danny is not driving that car. He's not wrong. He
Yep.
says he's driving probably one of the slowest cars on the grid, if not the slowest, which is the AlphaTauri. And then he basically goes on to say is my only question is not that they shouldn't have replaced Nick. Clearly it wasn't working. The surprise is why Danny would want to go to that car, and a car that is worse than the McLaren he left last year. He was left puzzled after Ricciardo declared, I am stoked to be back on the track with the Red Bull family in the press release announcing his move. And he says, I thought that was odd. He can't even bring himself to say AlphaTauri. There might be
Literally.
some short term pain for Ricciardo if he can't do any better than DeVries. And we talked about this last
Yeah.
week where we were like, if Danny does not do well in AlphaTauri, it's it's gonna be game over for him. So
Yeah.
and like Christian has come out and said, we have a contract with Checo for 2024, but Danny does have a shot in 2025 to replace Checo if he does well in AlphaTauri.
Mhm.
And I think that there is just, it's interesting whether or not you can count like chalk it up to just being like semantics and being part of the Red Bull family, but like the fact that he didn't say that he was excited to be joining AlphaTauri is an
Is an
interesting
interesting note.
tidbit to
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
No, he's barely said anything about AlphaTauri, and then like posted photos of him and Lando being like, I guess we're back. And I'm just like, he, he's excited, but he's not thrilled.
Which I mean, Ted brings up a good point because he was like last year he said he doesn't want to go to a bottom barrel team, and like
Yeah.
technically AlphaTauri is a bottom barrel team. But what do we know about Red Bull? What do we know about Christian? What do we know about Helmet? That they only care about following orders. And how good are you at being someone who follows orders and can play second fiddle. And Danny getting on his knees for Christian to say, yes, sir, I'll do whatever you want me to do, sir, in the hopes that they're dangling that Red Bull seat in front of him
There's
for
just
2025.
a carrot dangling in front of Danny's face in the form of Checo's race suit.
Like, someone was like, oh, LOL, where do you think Danny's gonna finish at the Hungarian Grand Prix? And someone was like, dead fucking last, dude. And I was like, no. I hope to God that's not true, but I just like the AlphaTauri fucking sucks.
It's
like,
so
it
bad. It's so bad. They made a big mistake stopping being Red Bull's B team. Like, you guys should have stayed Red Bull's true B teams, so that you would like get a similar car.
I know. And like, obviously Danny is like technically back because he was at Toro Rosso for a while, which is legacy AlphaTauri, right?
Yeah.
So it's just funny to see him kind of come full circle and like be back at the bottom of the pyramid, and he's gonna have to pay his fucking dues all over again.
Yeah. This is actually how Christian's punishing him for leaving Red Bull. He's like, oh yeah, this is actually the long game for Christian. He's like, I'm gonna wait until Danny is so desperate and broken after leaving the team, and then I'm gonna invite him back, and then I'm gonna make him do the most embarrassing thing possible. First, I'm gonna make him our third driver, our reserve driver. I'm gonna make him be our fucking
silly little court jester monkey.
Our court jester dancing monkey for the Instagram. And then I'm gonna put him on the B team of our team, like the lesser team to us, and make him rot there at the bottom of the barrel. And I'm gonna tell him, maybe you can come back if you're a good boy. And then I'm not gonna let him. Like, this is like the long game, like evil plan.
Christian is literally Dr. Evil. Like, he is playing absolute mind games with Danny right now.
He is playing Danny like
that
a fiddle.
Toxic ex-boyfriend who you like are desperate to get back with, and he's like, well, maybe we can get back together if you do X, Y, and Z for me. And then you do all of those things, and then he says, psych, bye. Not coming from experience.
I said, feels a little close to home, Nicole.
But Danny, I think I've seen this film before, and I didn't like the ending. So,
you know what? I'm gonna say something bad here. I'm gonna say something bad here.
Okay,
and
say it.
Like, I think I've seen all of the films before of the choices that Danny could make, and I didn't like the ending of any of them.
No, the correct ending for Daniel and Ricciardo is to meet me, fall in love. We move to Australia together on the farm. We're off the grid.
Obviously.
Never to be heard from again. We're off the F1 grid and the metaphorical grid altogether. No one's hearing from us ever again.
No, we're gone. Off the grid for real.
That's the only logical conclusion to this story.
Obviously. You're so right for that.
So, Manifest Minute, everyone. Okay. We did have Goodwood this weekend.
Yep. A lot of people were there.
A lot of people were there. And Mick had a moment to shine this weekend. Mick was absolutely dazzling. He was shining like fireworks over Haas's sad, empty town. I will say that. And he was fortunate enough to be able to wear his dad's Mercedes overalls and helmet while he raced at Goodwood. Michael Schumacher raced at Mercedes in his last final years as a Formula One driver. And so Mick's obviously back at Mercedes as a reserve driver. Ugh. And he, got to do some really exciting things. And then at the end, Mercedes, his engineer said, go for the donuts. And he says, I had a really exciting weekend. I got to do donuts and the team was really excited and happy for me, which we know at the end of last season with Haas, Mick went to do donuts and they literally shut him down. They're like, no donuts, Mick. And it was just a big ol' F you to Haas. And so Did you
see Haas's comment on the post? They commented the face that's like two eyes and no mouth. Just like, they commented that.
Yeah. because they deserve to get their ass beat.
You want to know why?
For treating
they
Mick like
didn't have
shit.
enough money to let Mick do donuts, because they would have had to fix more things on the car and the tires, and they don't even have money for the cost cap.
So true.
Sorry that you went to a broke ass team who couldn't afford for you to do a donut.
Which, speaking of broke ass teams, Mercedes is in its Haas era right now.
Tell me more.
Because Toto recently did an interview where they were like, our upgrade's coming, like, are you feeling good about the car? And Toto basically said, we're looking to next year. Like, we're done. There's no shot in hell that we're getting anywhere this year. Like, we're looking to next year to build a world championship winning car.
That's so Gunther core.
And I was like, damn, Mercedes is in its Haas era. Like, they're done. They're like, there's no shot. And so Toto was basically like, don't ask us about upgrades. Like,
big yikes.
We're looking to next year. Like, we're finishing second and third on the podium. It's not where we want to be. We want to be in a world championship winning car, and it's just not going to happen for us this year. So Gunther is meeting with Toto as we speak to tell him how to get through this point in his life.
Yo, that's so sad.
And, like, obviously, we know Toto's checked out because he's out here at Harvard.
Literally just teaching at Harvard. No other care in the world.
He's like, fuck it. My team, we're losing. Not in the contention. We're not doing bad, but we're not doing good. And so, like, I can just dip and go teach some MBA kids.
He's got to do that while people want him to teach MBAs before his fucking company crashes and burns. And
before they're like, this become Williams.
Before they become like the new Williams, and no one wants him to teach them how to do business.
Can you imagine the Mercedes fall from grace to Williams? Like, would be insane.
I mean, never say never. It could happen. That's literally how it happened for Williams.
I know. Like, they were so domineering, and then they just really fell from grace.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, I just can't believe Toto is in his professor era. That's like so hot.
I know.
I mean,
it's a lot to process, for sure.
Speaking of MBAs, though.
Speaking of MBAs, great segue, Nicole. Want to know what I love about this story? I love to see people gracefully transition to a new chapter of their life and do something completely different, but not kind of follow in just what everyone thinks they're supposed to do. So we just heard from Nicholas Latifi for the first time since he left F1 at the end of last year. And everyone's been asking him, like, what are your plans? What are you going to do next? Are you going to go to IndyCar? Are you going to go to NASCAR? Are you going to do Formula E? Like, what are you going to do next? And he was always like, I don't really know. Like, I don't know yet. And he just posted an update on his Instagram this week that he's actually going to go get his MBA in London. What is it? London School of Business or something like that. Somewhere in London. He's getting his MBA. And I just, like, really appreciate that about him. Like, I appreciate that he's like, I'm really interested in business, and this thing didn't really work out. It was fun. I got to live a dream of being an F1 driver, but I'm not just going to like try to cling to that and do all these other series. Like, I'm going to do something else. And like, I hope the best for him. Like, he and little Miss Sandy are going to be a fucking power couple.
Dude.
Like, he's got a lawyer for his business when he starts one.
Good for him. He's also following in the steps of his dad. His dad is a pretty powerful businessman, which is how he got into Formula One in the first place.
Yeah.
So who knows what Nicky will be able to accomplish with this new degree under his belt. I will say, though, can you get your MBA? Does he have an undergrad degree? When did he go? Did he go to college?
I don't know. I mean,
can you get your MBA without having an undergrad degree?
Google.
Hey Siri, did Nicholas Latifi go to college?
Okay, it says, I found that for onlinemba.com says that although rare, some learners earn an MBA without an undergraduate degree. Some programs may waive the bachelor's requirements for candidates with exceptional professional experience. So I don't know if maybe like he's like
his dad made an incredible donation, and there will be a Latifi wing at this new MBA. Okay, got it. There we go. Okay.
Anything is possible if you're rich, Nicole, and I think that is what you're forgetting here, is that anything is possible as long as you have money, or your dad does. Okay?
Once again,
You're not
we're
ugly.
going back to the cost cap
You're
too.
just
It's just, if you
poor.
have enough money, anything is open to you. Their rules don't apply to you. Rules don't apply to you if you're rich.
Also, you're not ugly, you're just poor. Like, if you're ugly, you're just poor.
You're
if
just
you
poor.
can't get your MBA without an undergraduate degree, you're just poor.
You're just poor.
So, sucks to be poor, I guess.
Nicholas Latifi going from paid driver to paid MBA. We just really wanted to root for him, but again, this is really hard.
It's hard.
To just be like, I'm so proud of him when he literally skipped the line and like does it.
Okay, but we don't know that. Maybe he did go to school.
When would he have gone to school? I just Googled, did Nicholas Latifi go to college? He was in Formula 3 starting in 2012.
All right, I'm looking at the motorsport.com thing about his business school. It is London Business School, so easy.
Okay, go to his LinkedIn.
Okay, well, after a 5-month journey from starting the process, my candidacy was accepted for a place in the MBA program. I mean, I do know that there's also some places that do like my college had like a 4+1 program. So it's basically like you get an undergrad for like, you go for 5 years, and 4 years is your undergrad in business, and the 5th year you like get your MBA. So like maybe he's doing like a joint program that's like, it's technically an MBA program, but it like combines both.
This says, additionally, Latifi didn't get an undergraduate degree, which likely made American programs out of the question, because they were asking why didn't he go to Harvard if his dad was a billionaire. So
got it. So London, any old chap can get a business degree in London.
London business schools for broke bitches. He couldn't get into Harvard with Toto.
No.
He wanted to get his MBA to go to Harvard to learn from Toto so that he could come back as an F1 driver, but unfortunately he can't.
We're putting it all the pieces together.
He skipped the steps, and Toto doesn't fuck with that.
Just like in F1, you can't cut corners, all right, with Harvard.
Exactly. Also, people who are following their dreams post F1 career. Checo has expressed his dreams of starting a tequila company post
obviously
F1. I mean, this doesn't feel like super big news, but he recently was talking about it in an article. In a recent interview with motorsport.com, Perez opened up about the struggles that Latin Americans face while competing in a European sport such as F1. After explaining how this sport is so grueling, he also shed light on some of the plans that he has after he retires, which people have been shitting on him left and right, being like, he's out. When asked the same, he replied, when you're in Formula One, the attention should be directed only to F1. But the truth is that there are plans that excite me a lot in the face of the future. And one of them is tequila, my own brand. So he is joining the ranks of other celebrity alcohol tequila brand owners like George Clooney, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Kendall Jenner, Nick Jonas. Almost anyone can get a tequila brand these days.
Apparently.
I feel. Watch out. Two girls, one tequila coming to a shelf near you.
Tequila girls, one formula. TG1F still. Tequila girls.
Hey! So maybe we can, partner when Checo finally does have his tequila brand. Obviously, he's partnered with Patron right now. So when Perez does get his tequila brand, we'll be the first in line to sign up for a brand partnership with him. Okay, we touched a little bit about on this last week, the rumors that Alex is potentially going to Ferrari. We said we would save that for this week, but I just want to bring that back up again because I thought that was a rumor that sounds like something we would start, because
agreed,
there seems like there's no foundation for a rumor like this. And Fred Vasseur basically dismissed the idea that there was any movement with Alex, who himself made it very clear in recent weeks that his own focus was on a long-term future with Williams. They've been really investing a lot in Alex as like the team leader, and he's like, I'm not going to Ferrari. Obviously, we've seen Alex and Williams make strides in the past couple of races. Yeah. He's been finishing well within the points, and it's really exciting to see. So I don't think he's planning on moving and jumping anytime soon. But Vasseur basically said, I don't know where this story came from, and I've run into Albon in the past, and we're friends. If a reporter asks me if Alex is currently doing a good job, I would say yes. But that doesn't mean I'm interested in taking him on Ferrari. I think Alex has a contract with Williams until 2024. The team is investing a lot, so there's no problem. So, but again, we talk about these rumors all the time.
Anytime anyone denies a rumor, usually it's true. So I don't know what to say here, but I don't believe anyone.
Yeah, it's really hard. I'm just like, I don't know about that one at all. But I mean,
crazier things have happened, though.
Crazier things have happened, that's for damn sure. So, who's to say? I've also been hearing some rumors floating around that Bottas might be retiring after this year. There's not a lot of validity.
I would not be surprised. Zero, like, I would not be shocked at all.
Like, I've seen some things on TikTok floating around and Twitter, so I don't know. There's just people maybe making
I just don't really feel like he loves it. I mean, I think he's, like, enjoys himself, but it doesn't really feel like his passion anymore. He has so many other, like, business ventures, and I just feel like the happiest I see Bottas is when he's not, like, off the track, like, on, like, off weekends or, like, doing things like that's when he feels, and obviously I don't know him personally, so I, like, can't attest to when he's the happiest, but I just feel like whenever he is, like, off, like, cycling with Tiffany or, like, doing stuff for Oath Gin or, like, talking about, like, his coffee company or, like, literally, like, doing his cycling races, like, that's when I feel like he just feels, like, really passionate.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if he, like, decided to go towards those ventures instead and like focus his time on those.
I agree. It's something that I'm watching for sure. We don't have any like concrete evidence yet, but things are being whispered and I'm listening to the wind on this one.
Yeah.
One thing I would love to discuss
tell me
is Carlos posting about his grandfather passing away yesterday. Now, obviously it is a very sad, it's a so
sad, like it's not okay thing. it's not we're not talking here about Carlos saying that his grandfather passed away. It's the medium by which he announced that.
It was the photo dump of him and his grandfather and the first photo of it being him in a thirst trap, and I just was like, Carlos, because we got so many people DMing us and they were like, oh my god, Carlos Sr. for like Thirst Trap Thursday, like look how hot Carlos looks. And I said, guys, this is an in memoriam post, please settle down. Like, guys, his grandpa
the man is dead, please have some fucking respect.
And it's just like, Carlos, like, you would expect this out of a 23-year-old guy, just to be like, oh, grandpa's dead, like I'm posting a shirtless selfie because I need grandpa. I need compassion and I need someone to, like, you know, make me feel better. Like, no, don't kill yourself, you're so sexy.
I was just gonna say, no, don't kill yourself, you're so sexy.
Like, Carlos, baby, what are we doing? You could have put it as a second photo. Like, you could have kept it in there, but like I feel like we could have maybe chosen.
Just rearrange the photos.
I'm not gatekeeping anyone's grief. Maybe your grandpa really loved that photo of you guys, and I'm really happy for you. But like, maybe we just rearranged the photos a little bit.
It's just like really funny.
With the current track record of photos that you've been posting, I think a lot of people really skimmed over the caption and the announcement. So
God bless him. God bless him. God bless Carlos. Truly.
God bless.
God bless. You know what?
I'm thinking of him in these really hard times as someone who also recently lost a grandparent. So
yes,
I know it's tough, but I don't think that I'm
like this. There, whoa.
I don't think I would be posting a photo.
Yeah,
of me
you
in
just
a bikini.
post. Maybe you should. Maybe that's the new thing, Nicole. Guaranteed, you get a lot of sympathy that way.
So true. You're not wrong.
So many people would be reaching out to you to offer their condolences.
I'm screaming. Okay, one more thing before we move on to our fun segment is that Lando recently did an interview and he sounded a hell of a lot like you and me, because he basically went and said, I used to really care a lot about what people said about me on the internet, and now I actively seek out this information and I don't care about it though. I just want to read it. And I'm like, that is huge because we know Lando was really a big advocate of his mental health. He was taking some time away from social media last year or 2 years ago. And he was like, I can't handle being in the spotlight right now. I can't handle this criticism. But he was recently in an interview saying, but you have to learn to listen to the people that you respect and understand what people are saying at the same time when you know someone has no idea about something or just says it simply because they're idiots or they've got nothing else to do. That's positive, you know? And you and I talk about this all the time. And a lot of people come into our DMs and say, oh, I'm getting a lot of like hate on the internet and you guys have been dealing with this for a long time. How do you deal with it? And so Norris basically said that the reasons why people online choose to make things into a bad experience is something that is unfathomable to him. And he says, I don't get why people would waste time of their life, the one life that they live, why people even want to spend time doing these things, fighting bad stuff and trying to find bad things and make bad situations. Like people actually choosing to spend their lives doing these things makes absolutely no sense to me. So I've gotten to the point where I really enjoy seeing what people write about me. Of course, I love the good things and it's great to read at times. I've just learned to laugh and make fun of the bad things because I just feel sorry for the person who's actually had to come up with that stuff in the first place that's brought them amusement. And it's very interesting because I think we also got to a point where we're like, you're saying a whole lot about who you are, not anything about who we are.
Like, so, you don't actually know me. Like, you don't actually know what I think about things just because I posted one thing, especially if you're not going to, like, take the time and effort to, like, look at our, like, I don't want to say, like, body of work, but, like, look at our brand and see what we stand for.
Our storied history, yeah, obviously.
You're just going to look at, like, one singular post and think that post represents every single facet of me. Like, it's just crazy. Honestly, Lando should join us and get a tattoo that says just have fun, because I think he subscribes to the ideal, why be upset when you can just have fun? That's what I really got out of that.
Lando's ethos are there. He is a just have fun girly. And so Lando, we look forward to welcome you into this cult.
Yes. We do. And we have tattoos to prove it. So next time we see you, Lando, we'll bring a tattoo gun and you can get a tattoo with us too.
Perfect. Amazing.
It'll be great. Okay, this is going to be a very fun segment.
Yes. So we obviously, in light of the Barbenheimer release weekend, we have to celebrate the good word of these two movies, which I'm very excited to see. But I think it would be fun for us to pick the two teammates and decide which one is more Oppenheimer and which one is more Barbie.
Yes.
All right, so let's go down the list.
Okay, we have Red Bull, Max Verstappen, and Sergio Perez.
You know what? Wild card, I think Max is more Barbie.
Yeah,
Max is more Barbie.
Honestly, I just, like, are we saying, like, personality-wise, or, like, which one they're going to go see?
I think a little both. Like, I think Max would be more excited to see Barbie. Like,
I do too, and, like, secretly, I could see him, like, bringing baby P, and being like, oh, I guess I'll bring P, but he's, like, secretly excited about going.
Yeah.
And Checo's definitely Oppenheimer. Like, he, like, wants to, like,
be taken seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
He's too good for Barbie. He's like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
One ticket for Oppenheimer, please. I'm not doing a double feature.
Okay, Mercedes, Lewis and George.
Lewis is Barbie.
100%.
Lewis is Barbie 100%. For sure.
Lewis is definitely Barbie. Like, Lewis could have been a Ken in this movie.
I was saying, like, I'm so surprised that they didn't ask Lewis to be a Ken in this movie. Because,
I wish they had. I would have gone to see that movie even more than I want to see it already.
Like, Lewis could have absolutely been a hot ass Ken.
Although
Ken. Here's the thing: is like,
here's the thing is that George literally is Ken. George is
Ken.
Like, George
Carmen's Barbie and George is just Ken, like, which is why he's a candidate for Oppenheimer, because
it's too close for him. It's too meta for him to go see Barbie. It's
like,
so true.
George has a Ken body too. Like, George.
Yes. No, like, I'm saying George literally is Ken. Like, he looks like Ken.
He embodies Ken physically and mentally.
Yeah, he is the human embodiment of Ken. So, anyways, okay, let's do, next Ferrari. Is Alpine. No, not
Okay.
Alpine. Aston Martin.
Okay.
Alonso and Lance. Lance
Is
is Barbie.
Barbie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lance is Barbie for
100%.
sure. And Alonso's for sure Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
That's
I
no
think
doubt.
he doesn't get anything that's going on in the Barbie world. He's like,
He's
the
just like,
Barbieverse
what
is
is
not for
this?
me. He's like, I
He's
want to
like, why
sit
is she
through a
standing on her
3-hour.
toes? Like, why?
No,
He doesn't understand. It's not computing.
Lance is enough of the age where
Lance grew up with an older sister who made him play Barbies, and so
100%.
he knows the Barbie lore. Like Chloe definitely like schooled him in Barbies, and he always played with the Ken doll because he had to be the Ken when Chloe was playing with Barbies. So like,
exactly,
there's no doubt in my mind he's going, and maybe they're gonna go together on a little sibling date to like reminisce the old times. Okay, Carlos and Charles.
I think Carlos is more excited about Barbie. It's hard though. This one is hard.
This one is so hard. They're both of them.
They're
weirdly.
both. I know.
Like weirdly, they're both of them. Here's the thing right now is that I think Charles is more Barbie just because like also he has a girlfriend, so I feel like he's definitely like gonna take her to see it. Like she's probably gonna be excited. She's like 20 and she's like loves Barbie probably and is psyched. And I think Carlos is in his like single boy era where he's like, oh, I'm gonna go watch about bombs.
The only thing is that
but I think Carlos
gives
is
big Ken energy.
Okay,
but
Carlos actually,
is also Ken.
Okay, but another version of this game is of the teammates who's Barbie and who's Ken.
Who's Ken?
Charles is Barbie. Carlos
is Ken. 100%. That tracks. Yes.
Okay, Lando and Oscar. Lando's Barbie, Oscar is Oppenheimer, no doubt.
No thoughts about it, no questions asked.
After the red flag, green flag, Lando is Barbie. There's
Lando
no
is
doubt.
sat for Barbie. He's
they posted midnight premiere dressing up.
Yeah.
As Ken.
Like there's a reason that in the McLaren photo they had Lando driving the Barbie car and Oscar in the backseat because Lando is dragging Oscar's ass to go see Barbie.
Yeah. Okay,
but again, in this situation, Lando is Barbie and Oscar's just Ken.
Yes, 100%. Alpine, Esteban, and Pierre. Pierre is not going to see Barbie. Pierre wants nothing to do with Barbie. He's going to see Oppenheimer. Esteban is like, I could go see Barbie probably.
But I think he'll have to go see Barbie with Kika, but he'll complain about it the whole time. But I think he'll secretly like it, but he doesn't want to outwardly.
No, he doesn't want to say he likes it. No.
Mm-mm.
He hates Barbie.
Esteban is Barbie and Pierre is Ken.
Yeah. Okay. Williams, Albon and Logan. Albon, Barbie, Logan, Oppenheimer.
Easy.
No question.
Easy.
Like
Alex has that Barbie hair. He's ready to fucking rock and roll.
He
dyed his hair for Barbie.
He is arguably more excited than Lily to go see Barbie, for sure.
100%.
Like, 100%. He's been waiting. She's like, I kind of want to go see Oppenheimer. And he's like, we're going to Barbie.
We're doing Barbie, Oppenheimer, back to Barbie.
Back.
Okay?
Yeah,
it's a Barbie sandwich.
It's like when you take a shot and you like take a sip of juice and you do the shot and you take another sip of juice. Okay, Bottas and Zhou, Alfa Romeo. Bottas, I feel like, is Barbie, I think. And I think Zhou would be psyched about Oppenheimer.
It's hard, though, because think about Zhou's outfits. He is Barbie. Zhou is Barbie.
I don't know, but I feel like... Yeah, okay, yeah. Zhou,
like, I feel,
Barbie.
and, like... I love Bottas, but I think he's definitely like has the more masculine energy in the group, and so I feel like he would maybe be more excited about Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
I think he's also like I feel like he would take the film very seriously. Yes. Christopher Nolan, the cast, it's like deep lore.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Aligned. This is a fun one. Haas, Nico Hülkenberg and Kevin Magnussen. Nico Hülkenberg is Barbie for sure. He's also Ken.
Yeah, he's also Ken.
He is Ken. And Kevin Magnussen is Oppenheimer. I think he's probably psyched about it. However, if we're going to say who's Barbie and who's Ken, Nico Hülkenberg is actually Barbie.
Yes.
And Kevin Magnussen is Ken.
100%.
So.
But like Nico is also Ken to Igle.
Yes.
Like, she is objectively Barbie. And
I need to know how to say her name because you literally just said that. Like she's the man. You're oogle. That's how you just said
Eagle. Egle? What sounds better?
I don't know how to say it. That's why I'm like, I need to know how to say it because we can't be saying her name like that.
It's just Oogle from now on.
Oogle. He dumped you because you are Oogle. This one would have been easy, but now it is tough. Now it is tough. AlphaTauri, it would have been easy if it was Yuki and Nick, but now it's Yuki and Danny, and they're both Barbies, so what do we do about it?
Here's the thing, though. I think Yuki more excited about Barbie. Danny's more excited about Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Even though Danny does give bigger Barbie energy, I think he is less likely to be excited about Barbie the movie.
Yuki's Barbie and Danny's Ken, though.
Yeah, no. Well,
no shot.
I don't know, because I think about Danny's, like, he's got so many ventures. He's got a lot of things going on. He is the ultimate girl boss.
Yeah, but Yuki just is Barbie. He's everything. Yuki's everything. And Danny's just Ken.
I mean, that's hard for me to say. You know, that's the love of my life. Like, that's the love of my life. So I can't necessarily agree that Yuki's everything in this situation.
I'm sorry that you feel that
way.
I
don't think that Yuki's a Ken, but I also can't agree that Danny's a Ken. He's my Ken, but that's it.
I guess.
Okay, final boss pairing, Toto and Christian.
So toxic masculine.
Toto's Barbie, going to Barbie. Christian's having nothing to do with Barbie because he hates anything that's woman coded. Secondly, however, Toto is Barbie and Christian's just Ken.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Honestly, I bet Toto's psyched about Barbie. He wants to go see it because he's just really impressed with the business strategy behind the Barbie movie. And he's like, they've done.
He's got to learn. He's got to learn to give a lesson for his Harvard MBA kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Mattel.
Yeah. He's gonna have Margot in class as a guest lecturer.
A dream.
I'd go to that class. I need to be in that class. Okay.
Speaking of Barbies, let's get into our favorite Barbies. These guys are just Kens. It's talking time about for the girls' room.
Yeah, the girls' room. These girls are everything. The rest are just Kens.
Just Kens.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to start off the girls' room with a quick debrief of
we gotta.
Some gossip that's been going around lately. I feel like I've seen a decent amount of this on TikTok recently. It's kind of resurfacing. I don't know what's triggered it, but
I know. I was like, this feels like this has been around for a long time.
Right. But in case you haven't been following us for a while, we talked about this last year at some point. Jerry Hallwell, aka Jerry Horner, aka Ginger Spice from the Spice Girls, recently has been populating on TikTok a lot lately for her
Freudian slip.
For her romantic lesbian relationship with other Spice Girl band member Mel B. Now, if you didn't know this, there was all of this drama. This is allegedly the reason why Spice Girls broke up, is because Mel B and Jerry were hooking up, and then it kind of went south, and they decided that they didn't want to be in the band together anymore. And
it all came up because Mel wrote a book.
Mm-hmm. Right. And she was on what is that late night show in London? And she basically brought this up, and she was like, I thought this was common knowledge, but apparently it's not. And then we on the podcast talked about how Christian basically had a meltdown about this news, and he was just like so mad at Jerry for letting this news get out and for like berating her for her past, and was like, how could you do this to me, blah 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 blah. And Mel B and Jerry are no longer friends. Jerry had her birthday party recently, like last year or the year before, and they had a mini Spice Girls reunion, and Mel B was not there. And so they had a huge falling out. But I want you to know that we take issue with Jerry sometimes. However, I will always defend her against Christian. And if Christian has a problem with his girl being a bi queen, just because Christian doesn't have bi wife energy does not mean that he gets to take it out on Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you missed on Glee. Jerry and Mel B used to be hooking up, and they're the reason the Spice Girls have broke up. They're no longer friends, and Christian has a problem with it.
Even though there's like just so many rumors that there's actually going to be a Spice Girls reunion, so I'm like,
wasn't there a brief one?
No, I think they were like rehearsing for something, but I think Victoria was actually the one that
she was not going. Right, she didn't.
But yeah. I've heard that now that there's
a full reunion
in the works. Okay. Apparently, heard about Undumois, obviously. Yeah,
love that.
Well, speaking of the Spice Girls, which had Baby Spice, there's another baby in the mix.
We have a new F1 baby.
A new F1 baby. It's baby Magnuson. Congratulations to Luis and Kevin, who welcomed their second little babe. And
little
just
cherub.
Like, oh my God. These little Norwegian angels with their just white blonde hair. So cute. I can't. It's like the Reaganins, but they're just so cute. And I just like, oh God. So, I mean, Kevin, congrats. You also, just make really cute kids.
Oh, when
so hot in that photo,
the skin contact photo. Oh my God, I was like, "That is a dilf, baby. That is a dilf."
That's a dilf.
And everyone was like, "Why does Kevin look so hot in this photo?" I was like,
and I was like, "Sorry, but
good dad."
Kevin's been hot. Remember when we found all those hot photos of Kevin?
Yes.
And I was like, "Whoa, whoa!" My eyes have been opened.
Again, the thing is that with Kevin, don't forget Kevin's our age, right? Kevin is like 30,
literally.
And no guys are really that hot in between the ages of like 23 and 27. Okay. Especially
look at the rest of the drivers though.
But because they have a lot of money. And I think now, right, like if you think about where drivers were 5 years ago, they were not as hot as they were now because they have to have a social media presence. We're not being paid as much money, and they have to up their game to be hotter now. And so Kevin was just a product of his environment, and now he has money, and now he's in his 30s, which objectively is when men are their hottest.
Yes. Like, I feel like we need to repost those hot photos of Kevin because people need to put some respect on his name as a hot man.
Yes.
Justice for hot Kevin Magnuson. All right,
we won't stand for any.
Magnuson. I won't stand for people being surprised that he's hot. This man's been hot, and you're just catching up.
Welcome. Speaking of hot people.
The hottest. Kika was on the cover of Women's Health Portugal. Don't know anything about the contents of the article yet, but she looked amazing. And I just feel like she's kind of thriving right now. Honestly, I say this every week. She's just climbing my ranks.
She is.
Of like favorite wag.
She's definitely top 3 now, for sure.
Oh, for sure. I think she just like has a really good personality. I feel like she really just doesn't take herself seriously. Like she's just like, even like the photos from Wimbledon, like she's just like not afraid to like be cheering and like being like into it and like making funny faces. Like I feel like so many of the wives are just like, I have to look like proper and like look good. No, Kika's like, I don't know. I love her. She just gives me a good vibe.
Yeah.
I'm so into Kika. We talked about this last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, I don't remember when, but the drama of Kelly Piquet and the potential watch we were on for her and Max breaking up. Obviously, it is very much off now. She's posted several photos with him. But also, she was recently, there's like all these photos of her hanging out with Max, Lando, and Nick DeVries on a yacht. I'm sorry. That's like, I just, like, it feels like me just hanging out with my little brother's, like, best friends. They're all so much younger. Like, it's just, like, funny to me because I'm just like, what could all of them possibly be talking about?
But I mean, again, this was, I don't know the timing of when this event happened, but hopefully that means that Nick is being taken care of.
Yes.
Right? And he's being around people who care for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was good.
It's just like, the photo was so funny. I was just like, I like couldn't stop thinking like, this is me and my brother and his 2 best friends.
That
like,
was us at the Beachcomber.
Us on the funk bus, just hanging out with the youths.
They keep us so young.
Like, do you think that Kelly texts her friends while she's hanging out with them and is like, these little kids are so annoying. Like, these kids are so annoying. Like, do you think she's like, Max gets so annoying when he's around his friends because they're like so young? I don't know. Like, I just am like, I just can't imagine. Because how much older than Max is she?
She's 34.
And he is 25?
No, 25.
25?
Yeah, he's 25 or 20. I think he's going to be 26 this year.
Because, like, that's 9 years. And, like, my brother is 6 years younger than me. So, like, I think about his friends. I, like, think about me, even me just hanging out with my brother's friends. And I'm like, these people are children.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
their brains are so dumb. No offense, if any of them are listening to this, I love you guys, but
your prefrontal cortexes are not developed
and that's not your fault. That's not your fault, but it's just a fact. And
yeah, Kelly's a
like,
full 9 years older than Max, and so but also like, Nick is also our age. He's 27.
That's true.
28.
That's true.
28. So
that's like the
he's a little older, so he's kind of like
bond
in the middle.
She's like,
they're so old.
You I can talk to. Okay. Okay, now we need to talk about the two Lilies. The two Lilies. First is a pretty quick, simple one, but like Lily Zanemer, I think that's how you say it, Oscar's girlfriend, they were at Goodwood together. And she just like, we always talk about it, she's just like a little doll. Like, she's just so pretty and cute. And she had on this black dress that was off the shoulders and had these really pretty, like, gold, almost like brooch buttons almost in the front. It was just like a very beautiful dress, and her hair was done really well, and I was just like, this girl is beautiful. And they just like took videos of her, and I was like, she kind of has that face where you're like, she could either be like 15 or she could be like 35 depending on like how the photo is taken. But she looked really nice, and Oscar cleaned up very well for that. It was funny, there was a video, and he was like, they're like, oh, how's this suit compared to the F1 suit? And he was like, well, I didn't remember that my neck was going to grow this year. And so he's just like, I'm literally choking.
Yeah.
And I was like, a classic man, like, get a suit that fits. Like, you're literally rich now.
Literally.
Buy a new suit. But the real Lily that we have to talk about, our favorite Lily.
Yes.
Lily He was at the LPGA tournament in Ohio, where actually our friend Riley's husband Adam was there as medical staff. Very cool. And he was on the lookout for Lily. Didn't see her though, or at least I did not hear. However, the worst possible thing in the world happened to Riley while Lily was in Ohio, because Lily went to the Toledo, Ohio thrift mall, which Riley frequents. And Riley was not there. And I just feel like
nothing ever good comes through Toledo. So Riley was absolutely devastated.
Devastated. The one cool thing to ever happen to Toledo, Ohio. And she did not witness it. And I just, moment of silence for Riley here, guys, because she really needed that W and she didn't get it. She deserved that W and she was not granted it.
Moment of silence.
I feel really bad. I have to talk about Ouglé. I really, in my brain, I want to pronounce her name more like Isla Fish, or like I want the G to be silent, so it's like Ayla. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but that's like in my brain how it is pronounced. But she obviously is a crochet queen. Her Instagram is like that crochet girl, and that's how she and Nico met. He met her through like her crochet business or something like that.
He saw her in the paddock and he wanted a dress crocheted for his sister.
Something like that, yeah. And like now they're married and have kids and adorable. But she made a Barbie dress, like crocheted a hot pink Barbie dress, and it's so cute, and I want one.
Like I said, she's Barbie and he's Ken.
Truly. Like, those photos, I was like, she is Barbie. Like, she kind of is. Like, the dress was so cute. And, like, she is so good at crocheting. Like, obviously, that's an obvious thing. She has a business for it. But, like, some of the things she makes, I'm like, I didn't know you could do that. She's so talented. I wish I had
Some people just have good talents. We just like to bullshit on the internet.
I wish I had one single talent.
Unfortunately, we're really funny.
We're really funny. The laughs we have. Okay, and the last one is the thing that we have been needing to talk about. We had a countdown going. We were very excited. Chloe Stroll's new single, Run, is officially out. And we've listened to it.
Chloe, you put out a absolute fucking banger with Surrender.
Yeah.
Surrender
is still one of the best songs.
Slept on, and it needs to be a radio hit. It is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
It's so fucking catchy. It's everything an heiress pop star should be putting out. And then we go and we drop Run. Babes. Here's my thing. Listen, when Taylor did 1989, arguably one of her best albums ever made.
Yeah.
What was the first song she dropped from that? Shake It Off. When she did Lover, what was the first single she dropped from that? Me? When she did Reputation, Look at What You Made Me Do. If there is a full album in the works for Chloe, I'm hoping this is her Me. I'm hoping this is the worst song on the album that she has chosen to put as a single. And I will let it slide.
Okay, I will say she did write this as a form of cathartic therapy. She and Scotty had a home invasion, and so she wrote this song about that.
No, you're being serious.
No, I'm like being serious. I'm being very serious. I actually just looked it up on BroadwayWorld.com. It says,
why was Scotty just like dancing in front of? He just was like dancing.
Good times, bitch. It literally says, the cathartic experience of writing the emotional lyrics became a form of therapy for Stroll, facing the moment head on. Here are the lyrics. You don't understand the battle. In the dead of the night we're settled. Then there was a rattle in the dark. A flashlight shined across. Now it's time to run, run, run. My mind is saying run, run, run. And she said, my husband and I experienced a home invasion. It was a scary experience, and thankfully we're both okay, but it took its toll, so I wrote about it to help myself cope. With the help of my friend, singer Joey Myron, I was able to recall the feelings and turn something so hurtful into something beautiful. I should make this my theme song because I also had a break-in. Also...
Not while you were home.
Yeah, okay, but also the next part of this, Chloe Stroll is a songwriting force whose earnest and raw storytelling, sparkling vocals, and melancholia-laced pop captivates listeners and offers us all a place of solace, healing, and ultimately hope. Born and raised in Montreal, Canada, Chloe developed an unwavering passion for music, writing her very first song at the tender age of 7. I'm sorry, it sounds like they're writing about Adele. I mean, I applaud her for writing about something that was like very painful, and obviously that's like a very scary situation.
Yeah.
But I just set herself up for failure because Surrender was so good.
Surrender was so good. I'm hoping
she says, Chloe is embracing the singer she has always aspired to be and is writing the profound songs that captures her life experiences. Run is the first of many soul-stirring tracks she has poured her heart and soul into, embodying a life where music perpetually takes a center stage.
Thank God. I have hope, okay? I have hope that this is her Me.
Yeah.
And it's going to be better from here on out. I have hope. You'll hear our full review when the album comes out. Our full honest review.
We'll be doing a full album release party where we do a listen along.
Join us at midnight.
A streaming party
on Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm proud of her. She's really making her own dreams come true, and that's great. It's not my favorite
love that
song.
bitch. It's just not my favorite, you know?
It's not my favorite song. Surrender still wins. And
lyrically, it's
okay.
not as strong as Surrender. It's not as boppy as Surrender,
but I hope that it really does help her through a tough place. If that's the purpose of the song, then I hope that that's what it does for her.
Her all too well 10-minute version.
No, this is her Out of the Woods. Taylor wrote that about a snowmobile
vehicular
crash.
Manslaughter.
Turning tragedy into a bop is what the girlies do best. So
all the best pop icons do it. So we applaud her.
Are we writing a song about
rings.
You getting dumped in Monza? That's gotta be next.
I'll go to ChatGPT.
Write me. We have to. That's what gotta be out of context, and we have to. Okay, guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to ChatGPT and we're gonna have it write us a song about getting broken up, getting cheated on in Italy, subsequently broken up, and we're gonna get it to write us a song and we're gonna post it. And if any of you are musical and you want to add some music to it and sing it, please send it in and we'll play it on a podcast.
It'll be our new
episode
intro song. It'll be our intro song
for that week. So please, if
looking forward to hearing your entries, guys.
Yeah, can't wait. If you have a ukulele and you want to sing it, if you have a piano and you want to Bella's lullaby it, like, do it. I just want to hear how you guys take this song and make it your own. Make it really your Chloe Strolls run, okay?
All right. And on that note, we have one manifest minute this week, and it's actually from Julie, who sent it in as a manifest minute for us. Julie says, "Hey, Kate Nicole, I have a manifest minute. Last night I had a dream that y'all had Susie Wolf on TG1F. The conversation included Toto versus Christian, so that's my manifest at the moment. See you on the internet."
That's arguably the best manifest minute we've ever gotten. Yes. Perfect. Thank you for sending this in.
Thank you, Julie, for having this dream. It was a premonition, one could say.
Yeah, actually, it's not a dream. You were seeing the future.
You were seeing the future. So if everyone can close your eyes and join me in taking a big old deep breath in, a deep breath out, and just imagine it's Thursday. You get a notification that the newest episode of TG1F has just dropped. See the title, 2 Girls, 1 Susie Wolf. You can't fucking believe it. You said, how the heck did they get Susie Wolf on the podcast?
How did these 2 girls get Susie Wolf?
Let me tell you, she's a big fan. And she loves the work that we're doing over here on the internet. And she says, she's actually the one who reaches out to us.
Yeah.
She says, "Hey, girls, been following you for a long time. Would love to chat with you a little bit about TG1F Academy." And we say,
and I would love to talk to you about my husband versus Christian.
Susie, that's actually crazy. We were just drafting an email to you about this exact topic. Great minds think alike. And she says, "When can we get this on the books? I'm eager to chat." And we say, "We're open. What does your calendar look like?" And the conversation is just beautiful. It's just 3 incredible women and strong, insightful women having a conversation that you would expect to hear on Oprah's couch. It's
red table
beautiful.
talk.
It's red table talk. We're getting into the nitty gritty of her life, her journey to, success, her marriage to Toto, their beef with Christian. We're talking about it all. So stay tuned. Deep breath in. Deep breath out.
And move forward in the week by DMing Susie. Hope to tell her to come on our podcast.
Tag her in the comments at Susie Wolf. You got to chat with these girls, because while we believe in manifestation, we also have to believe in making things happen for ourselves.
Shooting your shot.
And shooting your shot is important. So we will be reaching out to Susie Wolf this week to see if she'll come on our podcast.
We will. Mm-hmm.
That's for damn sure. But until we see Susie Wolf,
until Susie's on the podcast,
we'll see y'all on the internet.
Bye.
Bye.